It's time for my least favorite melee boss fight of all time, the Elite Burning Man and Obsidian Elementals. First off, they are immune to all damage over time, so don't try to inflict poison, bleed, or burning on them. There are two Elite Obsidian Elementals and they each have 900 health, having Fire Invulnerability, 30% Physical Resist, 45% Impact Resist, and 40% Frost Vulnerability means that this will be a Frost-oriented fight. They have their standard melee attack and a sweeping attack whose animation can deceive you as it's longer than you might anticipate. These both inflict burning, which does 2 fire damage per second over 40 seconds, or until you drink water. Lastly, their homing fireballs is their only form of ranged attack, however in my experience they use it quite frequently. The Elite Burning Man has 2500 health, 89% impact resistance, full fire immunity, and 40% weakness to frost. In Phase 1 he complements the elementals by using a flamethrower attack if you get too close, which can hit you up to 5 ticks. His other attack in this phase is a Fire Nova, and after it he goes into a rest position for about a second or two, allowing you to get a couple hits in on the elementals. Once damaged below 75% health, his moveset drastically changes. His lines of fire is an attack where he charges at you, lines of fire shooting out of his arms, which are outstretched to the side, which quickly converge forward. This can hit you up to 12 times and is the most dangerous attack, as his tracking is fantastic. He has an improved Fire Nova, whose explosion radius becomes larger, and not only does this apply burning, but it applies burn, which increases the fire damage you take by 25%. Lastly, he can outstretch his hands and shoot 16 homing fireballs at you. Holy shit. Like you'll see in the video, the best way to handle this encounter is to pick off the elementals first, then push the Burning Man. For my mage, I abuse the invincibility you get from Mana Ward and the frost explosion it does when in the Sigil of Frost. That is to deal tons of AoE damage without fear of death. So, let's get started. Immediately after entering the boss arena, I run towards the Obsidian Elemental to get a hit in. It's really important to maximize your time spent actually attacking, because these status effects will burn you down really fast. No pun intended. Abusing the in-between moments between when the Burning Man is in its rest stages is really vital to actually defeating this boss. You can see that instead of focusing on both of them equally, I try to take out just one at a time. The reason why I do this is because those homing fireballs become a real big nuisance in the middle of a fight. There we go. Taking out the Obsidian Elemental means it's just a simple 2-on-1 and allows me to heal up. Managing to get in 3 hits before the recovery happens is quite nice. And this showcases a lot better of a dodge this time. Finishing off the Obsidian Elemental, now it's just a pure 1-on-1. You can see the lines of fire and how I just dodged backwards and forwards. You can parry the Fire Nova, however, personally I wouldn't recommend it until you do become more familiar with the fight. Homing fireballs, I just dodge side to side. As you can see, I did get hit by those second ones though, so make sure that you see that they all fall into the ground before pushing forward. One counter strike and a heavy attack finishes the fight. Awesome, good job me.